All right, how's it going, guys? We are on chain rule. Gotta love chain rule. So, way to look at this is you always want to look for the composition of the two functions. This one, number 5, is one of those things. It got extreme pretty quick. We're only on problem number 5. Not only do we have to do chain rule, but we do have to do quotient rule, and we got to do trig too. So our outside function, I always identify the outside function. Outside is x squared. The inside is sine of x over 1 plus cosine of x. And that's where we're going to have to do our quotient rule. So we can start doing that right now. We can look at here. We go, okay, the derivative of x squared is 2x to the 1. And then we got to take the derivative of this. So we got our u is sine of x. Our v is 1 plus cosine of x. du equals cosine of x. dv equals negative sine of x. Alright, so the derivative of this is low d high 1 plus cosine of x times cosine of x minus high sine of x plus sine squared of x, because negative sine of x times sine of x, all divided by 1 plus cosine of x squared. Okay, this is where trig will help you out. If you know your trig, you distribute that cosine through, you get cosine of x plus cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x, all divided by 1 plus cosine of x squared. Cosine squared plus sine squared is 1, so that's cosine of x plus 1. So the derivative of this comes out to be 1 over 1 plus cosine of x. Alright, so that's the derivative of the inside. So we got the derivative of the outside is 2x, so we take our 2, y prime is going to be 2 times sine of x over 1 plus cosine of x to the 1 times the derivative of the inside, which is this, which is 1 over 1 plus cosine of x. And so right there, perfect, done. You don't have to do anything more. Except for on a multiple choice, they are going to multiply this through in 2 sine of x, and I'm sure the back of the book has it done like this too, 1 over plus cosine of x squared. And there's your answer. Hey, it looks like a hard problem, but it is actually pretty easy if you just take it step by step. Then we got our next one. Once again, we got 1 plus cosine squared 7x all to the third. The outside function is x cubed. The inside function is 1 plus cosine squared of 7x. Then you look at that, take the derivative of that, we're going to have to use the chain rule again. So I would take this and I would just start. I go y prime equals, take 3 times 1 plus cosine squared of 7x to the 2. Now we got to do the derivative of this inside. So we got 1 plus cosine squared 7x. The derivative of 1, and let's say this is g of x. So g prime is going to be, derivative of 1 is 0. The derivative of cosine squared of 7x is cosine of 7x squared. So the outside function is x squared, so we take this and we go 2 times cosine of 7x, okay, times the derivative of the inside, which is negative sine of 7x, times the derivative of the inside again, 7. And there's your derivative. So I would go through and I would simplify this, but this is going to be 2 times cosine of 7x times negative sine of 7x times 7. And then you look, you can, I know my writing's really small, but you got a 7 here, a 2 here, and a 3 here, and a negative 1. So 7 times 2 is 14, times 3 is negative 42. So y prime equals negative 42 times 1 plus cosine squared of 7x squared times cosine of 7x times sine of 7x. Okay. Alright, and then the last one of the day, number 73. This is a multiple choice one. I didn't want to do it as multiple choice. I'll just do it right here. You guys can look at it. I really want to stress you guys doing those multiple choice. Make sure you're doing the problems and not just writing down a letter. I know as I'm reading your homework, some people just write down a letter, and that's amazing. But if you see me, I'm doing this multiple choice one, and I do know more calculus than most of us right now. I write everything out. So I'm going to rewrite this whole thing as squared. That squared comes out to here. So the whole thing is squared. The outside function is x squared, so the derivative is going to be 2 times cosine of x cubed plus x squared to the 1. Now, times the derivative of the inside. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. The inside stays the same, x cubed plus x squared, times the derivative of the inside of that, which is 3x squared plus 2x. And there's your answer. Okay? I get we could pull this negative and this 2 out there in the front, and we're good. All right, guys. Make sure you stay ahead of these chain rules. It just gets harder and harder if you miss the basics of chain rules.